after technical difficulties, we are going to continue Chapter 7, so this one will be in 2 parts until I can redo the video. Archie, we said, and then turned to greet a cactus, as visitors were expected to do. Senor Seguaro, we saluted. We sat on rockers. The porch was full of them. So, men, he said, business or pleasure? Bafflement, I said. There's a new girl in school. He laughed. Stargirl. You know her? Know her, he said, and he picked up his pipe and loaded it with cherry sweet tobacco. He always did this when settling in for a long lecture or conversation. Good question, he lit the pipe. Let's say she's been on the porch here quite a few times. White smoke puffed like Apache signals from the corner of his mouth. I was wondering when you'd start asking questions. He chuckled to himself. Bafflement. Good word. She is different, isn't she? Kevin and I burst into laughter and nods. At that moment, I realized how much I had been craving Archie's confirmation. Kevin exclaimed, like another species. Archie cocked his head as if he had just caught the sound of a rare bird. The pipe stem anchored a wry grin. A sweet scent filled the air about our rocking chairs. He stared at Kevin. On the contrary, she is one of us, most decidedly. She is us more than we are us. She is, I think, who we really are, or were. Archie talked that way sometimes, in riddles. We didn't always know what he was saying, but our ears didn't much care. We just wanted to hear more. As the sun dipped below the mountains, it fired a final dart at Archie's flashing eyebrows. She's homeschooled, you know. Her mother brought her to me. I guess she wanted a break from playing teacher. 1 day a week, 4 or 5, yes, 5 years now. Kevin pointed. You created her. Archie smiled and puffed. No, that was done long before me. Some people are saying she's some kind of alien sent down here from Alpha Centauri or something, said Kevin. He chuckled, but not too convincingly. He half believed it. Archie's pipe had gone out and he relit it. She's anything but. She's an earthling if there ever was one. So, it's not just an act? Said Kevin. An act? No. If anybody is acting, it's us. She's as real as... He looked around. He picked up the tiny wedge-like skull of Barney, a 60-million-year-old Paleocene rodent, and held it up. As real as Barney. I felt a little jolt of pride at having reached this conclusion myself. But the name, said Kevin, leaning forward, is it real? The name? Archie shrugged. Every name is real. That's the nature of names. When she first showed up, she called herself Pocket Mouse. Then Mud Pie. Then what? Hully Girl, I believe. Now, Stargirl. The word came out whispery. My throat was dry. Archie looked at me. Whatever strikes a fancy. Maybe that's how names ought to be, eh? Why be stuck with just one your whole life? What about her parents? Said Kevin. What about them? What do they think? Archie shrugged. I guess they agree. What do they do? Kevin said. Breathe, eat, clip the toenails? Kevin laughed. You know what I mean. Where do they work? Well, Miss Carraway, until a few months ago, was Stargirl's teacher. I understand she also makes costumes for movies. Kevin poked me. The crazy clothes. Her father, Charlie, works. He smiled at us. Where else? Mechatronics, we said in chorus. I said it with wonder, for I had imagined something much more exotic. Kevin said, so, where is she from? A natural question in a city as young as Micah. Nearly everybody had been born somewhere else. Archie's eyebrows went up. Good question, he said. He took a long pull on the pipe. Some would say Minnesota, but in her case, he let out the smoke, his face disappearing in a gray cloud. A sweet haze veiled the sunset, cherries roasting in the Maricopas. He whispered, Rara Avis. Archie, said Kevin, you're not making a lot of sense. Archie laughed. Do I ever? Kevin jumped up. I want to put her on hot seat. Dorco Borlaug here doesn't want to. Archie studied me through the smoke. I thought I saw approval, but then when he spoke, he merely said, work it out, men. We talked until dark. We said adios to Senor Seguaro. On our way out, Archie said, more to me than to Kevin, I thought, "You'll know her more by your questions than by her answers. Keep looking at her long enough. One day you might see someone you know."